Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your host, Gats.
What's
I
up?
have my co-host Sudden here. We
What's up?
don't have that much new news this week, but we definitely have some good topics to talk about. So we'll go ahead and get started on those in a bit. First of all, I'd like to get started with what we've been playing lately. I'll let my co-host go ahead and start. What have you been doing lately, Sudden?
I've been playing the new Hogwarts Legacy game. Playing a lot of Call of Duty now that ranks out. I've been playing that again.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I've been playing.
So other than that, that's about it.
That season 2 of Call of Duty is truly amazing. I'm very hyped for it. They added the ranking system. That's actually what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of competitive, so it's like the ranking system, like on, I don't know, those that are familiar with Apex, like where you actually get a rank, and you could go. I think it's, what is it? It's like bronze, silver, gold. Is it like,
Yep.
Is there diamond or what is them?
There's diamond, crimson.
Yeah, there's a few
and
ranks,
a couple of other ones all up until the top 250.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's been really fun. We've been grinding that out. We're currently in silver, so we're making our way up there. But yeah, I mean, as far as Hogwarts Legacy, how are you enjoying that?
I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a really fun game. I have no complaints about it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff, and I've seen a lot of gameplay. I want to get my hands on it, but I got my hands tied right now with that new season of Call of Duty. I'm a big competitive guy, so I've been digging that new season 2 update. So, and yeah, that brings me to what I've been playing is a lot of Call of Duty, and I've still been going through some God of War. I'm getting closer to the end, so overall, great game. Been enjoying it a lot. So very, very, very happy with it. Yeah, let's go ahead and start digging into our topics here. So we do have some information about Ubisoft here. So as everybody knows, Ubisoft has been under a lot of fire lately because they canceled 3 unannounced projects recently. They had an emergency meeting with their investors, and the company itself spoke with a lot of developers and just basically speaking about what's been going on. Their games haven't been doing very well. As I just stated, they ended up canceling 3 projects, and just overall just a bad look for them. A lot of people are wondering if they're going to be sticking around much longer, and they're back on the news as of this week. So it looks like they did come out and they addressed the cancellations. They stated that the reason they had canceled those projects or had cancellations as of recent is because they state they're making too many games at once. So basically they bit more than they could chew, from what they're stating. And I mean, that's their excuse. How do you feel about this? And do you believe that's really what's happening in the background?
I really don't know. To me, it really doesn't matter. It's the unreleased games. We don't know what they are, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no,
as long as the games that they actually let out are good,
Yeah, and I mean,
if the games that actually come out are good, then it was worth dropping those 3. And just because they dropped those 3 now, doesn't mean after they finish with the games that they have out right now that they can't go back to that project. I mean, it's not like it's getting deleted and gone. They can always go back if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, from what they're saying is that they came out and said that they had to cancel a few games because they needed to make space for other games that are in development in the company. And that's really helping all the other games that are progressing well. So I mean, it's hard to believe that when they delayed what's that pirate game? The Bones one, the Skull and Bones. They delayed that. Yeah, Skull and Bones is the name of it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the
Skull
name
and
of it.
Bones?
Yeah, they delayed that. They've delayed a couple other games, and yes, overall, you know, the company has been struggling quite a bit, and for
like
them to
a lot of companies, to be honest.
yeah, I'd say that. But you know, Ubisoft doesn't get any slack because they like to, you know, copy everybody else, and it doesn't take much work to, you know, peek to your partner on the side and, you know, copy what they're doing, and when you are, you know, known as a company that copy pastes everything, and you can't, you know, come out firing on all cylinders, you're delaying games and all that crap. It's not a good look. So you know, they said that yeah, I mean, they're working on a lot of projects, and they seem to be just making room for other ones. So we'll see how that all goes. They did state that they are looking to, I mean, if E3 does happen, as everybody knows, E3 hasn't been a thing since, you know, since COVID started back in 2020. And it is supposed to be coming back this year. So Ubisoft did state that if E3 does happen, they're gonna be there, and they have a lot to show. So you know, I'm sure that, I know that they're working on that Avatar game that they did also have to delay. So I'm sure that we're gonna see more if they do show up at E3. I'm sure we're gonna see more of Skull and Bones and Avatar. That, you know, they did come out and say that they are hoping to launch a lot of games this year. So those are some of the games I'm looking forward to seeing from them. Again, they state that they're working on many projects. So and the reason they canceled the other projects was to make room for these projects. So I'm sure these are a couple games that we can see in at E3. What do you feel you're going to see at E3 from Ubisoft?
Yeah.
I asked you, do you think we're going to see those games from Ubisoft? Are you?
Oh, I didn't hear you ask me a question. I hope so. It would be really good to see those. It would be really nice to see some progress, especially on Skull and Bones. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Another one I'm really looking forward to is the Avatar game, the one that was supposed to be released a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like,
I mean,
I hope they give us something at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to. Yeah, you know, Skull and Bones. It's been one of their bigger titles that they've been talking about a lot. You know, did get delayed recently, and so did Avatar. And Avatar was one of the titles that I was looking to see. I'm a big Avatar guy. I still haven't seen the second movie, believe it or not. I just haven't had a lot of time.
Me neither.
Been really busy, but I heard really good stuff about it. You know, look forward to seeing it. But I mean, the game was supposed to come out with the movie, because the game is supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to keep up with the movie as far as, you know, what it's about, the story, and all that stuff. So now that the game got delayed, do you feel like it's gonna hurt sales, or, you know, it's not gonna get as much attention as it would have got if it would have came out when the movie came out, or do you think it's still gonna come out and make a big impression?
I feel like it would have made a lot more headway if it would have been released when it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't released any new gameplay, and I mean, if they do show up at E3, you know, that's something I'm very excited to see what it's gonna be. I mean, usually games that are based on movies aren't nothing too crazy. You basically already know what's going on. If you've seen a movie, you know what the game's gonna be about. But you know, when it comes to Ubisoft games, they do tend to look very, very polished and nice. You know, the Assassin's Creed, all those. Even, what was the other game? The Division. The Division.
Skull and Bone. Oh, the Division.
Yeah, that you know, was a very nice looking game. I'm hoping both of these games are looking nice, and I'm sure there's other stuff they haven't announced. They did state that they were going to release a lot of games this year, so You know, 2 games doesn't sound like a lot of games for 1 year. I'm sure that we're gonna see stuff we haven't seen yet. Yeah, very excited for that. You know, Ubisoft has been letting us down a lot, but I definitely don't want them to go anywhere. They own a lot of you know, the franchises that I'm a big fan of. You know, even Assassin's Creed to me. They I don't know if they're gonna come out with the Assassin's Creed this year, but I'm sure that if they are, that'd be another
I highly doubt it.
Pulling up at E3. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's go ahead and talk about Xbox. Xbox has been in the news a lot. Yeah, they've been in the news a lot as of lately. Yeah, and yeah, I mean it continues. They are. Everybody knows about the Activision Blizzard deal. So it's reached another hiccup here in the road to success, it being completed. So it looks like the UK has stopped the deal again. They do have concerns that the deal is gonna stop the competition from being able to compete. If they do own Call of Duty, you know, Activision Blizzard, they have a lot of big titles, Call of Duty being the main one. So do you think that, how are you feeling about this deal going through? Feel like, you know, there's still a good possibility. I'm gonna go more into detail.
I would love for the deal to go through, but I doubt it will.
Yeah, it's just
like, I would love for the deal to go through just to see what happens, you know, because it doesn't affect me due to me being on PC. It doesn't affect me at all. Same with you. It doesn't affect any of us on PC because it's Xbox and Microsoft.
Because I mean, if
it shouldn't affect anybody, but it's the possibility that it can affect somebody that is the issue that a lot of people are having.
Yeah, I mean you know, the players, the
I mean, you really
would benefit from it would be like, you know, I guess we would be kind of benefit from it on PC and Xbox as far as, you know, we'd be able to get all the Call of Duties, you know, all the Activision Blizzard titles if you are a Game Pass subscriber. Yeah. So I guess it's not even just PC and Xbox, it's more of, you know, the Game Pass holders. So you know, that's basically the only positive thing that would come out of this.
I doubt it would negatively affect anybody on other platforms like PlayStation, because you think that do people really think Microsoft's gonna buy the company and then say, hey, this is Xbox exclusive now, or Microsoft
that's the thing.
Exclusive?
They have offered PlayStation a 10-year deal, basically stating that I mean the regulators have been, you know, on top of, you know, trying to make sure that this doesn't, you know, hurt competition in the future. And then Microsoft's answer to that was, hey, you know, we offer PlayStation a 10-year deal, which PlayStation hasn't accepted. They're not willing to accept it because if you think about it, if they do accept the deal, then, you know, why shouldn't the deal go through? And I feel that, you know, PlayStation's motives here are they don't want Call of Duty to be owned, because if Call of Duty gets bought by Microsoft, even if Call of Duty doesn't go anywhere on PlayStation, it stays on PlayStation. They did say that they were looking to even, you know, to police regulators. They said that, you know, we're willing to put it on Nintendo, offer them a 10-year deal. They already said, you know, as far as PC is gonna keep getting Call of Duty. So there's no issues there. But basically, once Microsoft owns Call of Duty, they get a share, you know, as far as sales goes. Every copy that gets sold, you know, Microsoft's gonna get money out of that. And when it comes to Sony, PlayStation, they don't want their competition to get any type of you know, advantage when it comes to them. You know, basically at that point they'd be making money off Sony and the game that's selling on their platform. And Call of Duty sells the most on PlayStation. Looking it up right now, but
Call of Duty sells the most on most things, to be honest.
Yeah, but PlayStation is the biggest platform where they sell it. Let me see. I know it's a crazy number, dude. It's a really high number. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't even just stop there, you know, because even if Microsoft says, you know, PlayStation, you could get it for 10 years, um, they still control how much PlayStation gets from each copy. And if they make it something like, you know, instead of you getting 30% or 70% or whatever they get, we're gonna give you even less, and you can't do
Yeah.
anything about it, because if you have an issue with it, then you know we're offering you a contract, and if you don't agree with our contract, then you don't get Call of Duty. So you know that's something that I feel that you know Sony PlayStation is fierce, and that's why they are, you know, so opposed to the deal going through, because you know it doesn't just stop at you know, are we gonna get Call of Duty? Are we gonna keep getting Call of Duty? Okay, well if we do continue to get Call of Duty, well, you know, what's the deal here? What's the, you know, what are we looking at as far as sales? What, you know, share do we get when it comes to every copy that's sold on our platform? So yeah, basically
There's a lot that goes into it, but the
yeah.
thing is, I really think that they just gotta get over it, you know? If Microsoft buys the company, then oh well, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is that, you know, PlayStation has been getting DLCs, you know, the beta, they get it sooner, they get it like 2 weeks before everybody else. They have all those
They already
pros.
have the stuff that I guess they don't want that going away. I guess that would be their big thing.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, they don't want that going away, because when it came to PlayStation 4, you know, you remember the Xbox 360 era, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Xbox used to get maps, you know, DLCs. They used to get map packs early. They were the first ones to get it, and then they would go over to the PlayStation. But once they didn't renew the deal with Activision for Call of Duty, they got over um they got overbid by PlayStation, and PlayStation took the contract, so they started getting all the DLCs early. You know, PlayStation 4 was getting everything
Yeah.
early. You know, I continued to PlayStation 5. I believe the deal expires here soon. You know, that's something that, you know, having Call of Duty on your platform with, you know, extra advantages when it comes to like extra content, you know, early betas and all that stuff. You know, streamers are big on that. You know, like if there's a platform where you could play the game first. Not only yes streamers, but gamers themselves. You know, when it comes to a beta, the Call of Duty is the biggest game every year. So if Microsoft owns the game, owns the title, owns Activision, that means that the ball's going to be on their court. And if that happens, I know that you don't believe that it could hurt. You know, it's not really going to hurt anybody, or PlayStation should get over it. But honestly, PlayStation could lose, you know, quite a bit of you know, their consumers. So that's where they worry a lot too, because you know Nintendo doesn't care.
I doubt they're gonna lose their consumers, because they literally have God of War. Okay, that's never gonna go away from them. They have all these PlayStation exclusives that are fucking phenomenal. What Xbox has? All that's gonna happen is that they're gonna lose a little bit of sales. They're gonna lose a little bit of money, which they're still gonna be making money. They're just gonna be making less money. Slightly less money, okay? So all that would happen as well is that Xbox would get Call of Duty a little bit faster. Yeah, people's gonna go to Xbox because of that, but PlayStation's PlayStation. Nobody's gonna leave PlayStation. People that have the PlayStation 5, they're not gonna go sell their PlayStation 5 to get an Xbox. They're gonna go get an Xbox.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would lose people, because there's a lot of casuals.
Yeah, they're gonna lose people.
There's people
but
that
like,
only buy 3 games a year. Let's say, you know, they're Maddens. You know, because casuals are not us. You know, we're the hardcore gamers, and we're not the majority. We're actually the minority when it comes to, you know, people that actually buy multiple games. We're talking about 20, 30, 40 games a year. To whereas, you know, your average Joe buys an Xbox. They buy it to play Madden, 2K with their friends, Call of Duty. You know, they might
Yep.
on PlayStation, like you were talking about their IPs. Yeah, they're huge. Um, PlayStation has 200 and they're over 250 million consumers that are playing the system, that are part of the PlayStation ecosystem. And if you think about it, God of War just reached 11 million sales. So that's
Mm-hmm.
11 million people that bought God of War out of 250 million people. So not many people play God of War. Like a lot of people do play God of War, but not the majority, which are going to be the casual gamers. The majority are going to be playing Call of Duty when it comes to sales, because Call of Duty is selling like hotcakes. That's basically why I lean more towards why they don't want the deal to go through, or why it would hurt PlayStation, because the majority of Call of Duty players play on PlayStation, not on Xbox, not on PC. They play on PlayStation. They have the majority amount of players playing that game. So when you think about it that way, The Last of Us, I believe they reached like 9 million sales or something like that out of 250 million people on that ecosystem. It definitely raises some questions as far as how much this could impact PlayStation. So I just wanted to give a little bit more background as to why I'm looking at the situation from my point of view. But it's crazy. It's if Xbox does get Activision Blizzard, they might not see the repercussions from it, maybe in the first year, but within the next two Call of Duties, when Xbox is starting to get DLCs first, or let's say the beta first, because the regulators are looking at it as if Xbox says we're gonna put Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years, okay, that's Call of Duty on PlayStation for 10 years. Yes, the game, not any pros. Let's say they come out with special skins and special different things that's the beta coming out early, or map packs. Let's say they go back to the days where, because even that was just last generation, when PlayStation 4 was getting the DLCs, what, 2 weeks early.
Mm-hmm.
So if that were to switch up, you can't tell me that Xbox wouldn't explode when it comes to people that are interested in the game. Let's say the next Call of Duty, we were talking about it last podcast, being Sledgehammer. Let's say they come out with what do you think it'd be? What do you think the next Call of Duty would be?
No one's Sledgehammer, a World War II game.
World War II. So let's just say World War III. It's a more modern combat than World War III, because or World War II. So let's say World War III comes out. It's hype. Everybody's hype because they already know that old school combat. Going back in the 1990s, the 1900s. It's people are not a big fan of it. So most likely it's gonna be modern. So they hype it up.
Hopefully.
It's coming out, and then you see the commercial. It comes out and it says beta available 2 weeks early on Xbox, only on Xbox. And that's something that casuals are able to see. Let's say YouTube ads, all that stuff. Whenever you're watching YouTube videos, Xbox ad comes up with promoting the next Call of Duty, and it says available early on, or the beta early on Xbox, 2 weeks early or whatever. And then the game comes out. Let's say it comes out at the same time on both systems, but then they release their first DLC, and it comes out, let's say, a week early or 2 weeks early. That's when people are going to start seeing, people that already have a PS5 might not switch or sell their PS5 to get an Xbox just because the next Call of Duty next year, ends up being or getting more pros on Xbox. But when the next generation comes out, when did Xbox Series X and PS5 come out? I think, what, 2020? We're already
Something
going
like
on
that.
3 years.
2020.
Yeah, 3 years. And console generations last what, 5 to 6 years. So let's say 2 more Call of Duties. By the time the next gen consoles come out, or let's say, I'm sure we're gonna see a PS5 Pro. Do you think we're gonna see a PS5 Pro? or an Xbox Series X something
I
else.
wouldn't doubt it. It wouldn't
A
surprise me at
mid-generation
all.
refresh like they did with the last generation.
Yeah.
Well, when
it
that
wouldn't
happens,
surprise me at all.
yeah, when that happens, let's say that happens in a year. Let's say next year we're seeing an upgrade because PC is so ahead of consoles right now, and consoles gotta somewhat try to keep up with PC, which we know it's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
that's gaming has to keep moving forward. Games keep evolving and all that stuff. So I'm sure we're gonna see a next generation, mid generation refresh. And when that happens, let's say the ball is on Xbox's court and they got complete rights over Call of Duty, and they're releasing all the ads and stuff, just basically stating, Call of Duty, you get it on Xbox, you get this and that, this and that. When people are getting a new system or they're getting a stronger system, I mean, they might it's definitely gonna be a thought in people's minds, like I'm a big Call of Duty
it's
guy.
definitely going to be a thought.
I'm a streamer.
But
if streamers switch to Xbox right now, streamers are primary PlayStation. Like realistically, a lot of the streamers that do stream, they're going for PlayStation because, like you said, they got the God of Wars, they got the Last of Us games, they got that new Returnal game that came out on PlayStation, a couple years, like a year ago or something like that. It's actually on PC now, so. I'm actually gonna check that out here soon. It's looking good, but they have a lot of good first-party games, to whereas Xbox is hurting. So, right now Xbox is irrelevant. But that's why this deal is huge, man. Because if Xbox is able to seal the deal there, able to get all those games, it's not only good for Game Pass. It's good for Xbox, and it's really gonna hurt Sony PlayStation when it comes to their strategy and having Call of Duty on their side, and them being able to motivate from higher percentage of every sale that they make, every Call of Duty that sells on their platform. Xbox is gonna they're a company, and their motives are to make money, and if they could hurt their competition by giving them less money for a game that they know they need on their platform, because imagine no Call of Duty on PlayStation. How bad would that be?
I mean, it would be terrible. It would be absolutely horrible.
So yeah, that's
the
why.
Thing is,
yeah, I'll let you go because I know I've been going off, but yeah, I'll let you go.
I'm perfectly fine with that. The reason I want the deal to go through and for this to happen, I just want to see what happens from it. That's literally it.
PlayStation can come out.
Curious.
They got to come out with something. PlayStation is known for single player games, dude. Where are their multiplayer games? Imagine, because how good are their single player games? That how good a really good multiplayer game from Sony, like a very polished, well made single player game would be. But they don't have to compete.
I'm confused on what your question is just now.
Well, basically what I'm saying is, let's say, and it's not gonna happen because that's why regulators are trying to stop the deal, or they're trying to put more can't think of the word. They're trying to put giving them less options to what they can do with Call of Duty, because they want Call of Duty to stay on all platforms. But the only reason PlayStation hasn't made any multiplayer games is because, I'm telling you, Call of Duty is huge on their platform. They're not motivated to come out with a multiplayer game. So, like you were saying, you really want this deal to go through because you want to see what happens. Well, if this deal goes through, PlayStation's not gonna want to abide by Xbox's rules to be able to get Call of Duty on their system, and whatever Xbox wants to do for them to be able to even get the game on their system. They're gonna have to compete, and they're gonna have to come out with a multiplayer game. So when you said, I want it to go through to see what happens, I feel that would motivate PlayStation to actually come out with a good multiplayer game. Because,
well, then it would be a good thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because then Call of Duty would have something to go up against.
Exactly. And we know that, Battlefield ain't touching Call of Duty anytime soon. So that was the only close competition they had. So, and I know I kept cutting you off, setting, but you know, you're welcome to cut me off too, dude. It's
Of course.
you know, the conversation is good and topics are good. Like I said, we have some hot topics today, and um, yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
Microsoft
also
is.
taking care of some dinosaurs, to be honest, at the moment on Ark. So.
Oh, you're good, man. Hey, do your thing, do your thing. But yeah, I mean, many countries have opposed to the potential deal since Microsoft announced it back in 2022, so it's already been going on for about a year. And a few have already approved the acquisition of Activision, such as it looks like Chile, Serbia, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, but the EU, which is huge, is unconvinced right now. So last week, Microsoft received a statement of objection of the EU, the content of which is not known to the public still. But basically, they want Xbox to offer more to prove that them taking, charge of Activision Blizzard isn't going to be something that's going to hurt the competitors, because
Yeah.
they basically it's hard, man, because I feel like at this point, the only way that this deal is going to go through is if Microsoft drops Call of Duty from the deal. Let's say they still buy Activision, but they sell Call of Duty to somebody else, or somebody else takes charge, or they make a different studio, or they split studios from Activision and they buy all the other titles that they have, but they leave Call of Duty out of the deal. That I feel like that's going to be the only way, because when it comes to the regulators, they're just not convinced. They feel that, you know, it'd be too much of an advantage for one platform to own such a big title, you know? Because as we spoke over and over again, I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but Call of Duty's huge. It hasn't, you know, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And if a platform has Call of Duty on their side, that's a huge advantage, even for Game Pass. Which Game Pass, you know, having Call of Duty, let's say the next Call of Duty comes out, it's on Game Pass day one. Who's gonna want to pay $70, which is what people are having to pay for games nowadays, for Call of Duty, when they could get it for free on Game Pass for, you know, $10-15 day one?
Yeah.
It's just yeah, I mean, it's just, the title's so huge, and yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I wanted to, you know, talk about this topic because it is huge in gaming right now. And if it does go through, it's definitely gonna be an earthquake out here. Gonna awesome major change. Things could go well or things could go bad. We already know how Microsoft handles their developers and their studios, and with all the delays and stuff like that. I know that that's another reason they're buying they want to buy Activision, because as we know, you know, Activision is really good at releasing content yearly, you know, a new Call of Duty every year. And it comes out,
Incomplete, but
but
they
hey,
do it.
They fix it within, you know, and I hate that about them, dude. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, they do deliver. You know, every year we have a Call of Duty. It might come out broken here and there, but you know, within a month or two, it's up and running, and you know, it's a good game. Most of, you know, not every year we're a fan of it, but they seem to be getting the picture of, you know, what players are interested in seeing from them and stuff. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to get to is Xbox getting Activision is gonna help them be able to get knowledge as far as what they're doing wrong or what they can do right, be able to release content quicker, and being able to, because Halo was supposed to be a live service game. It was supposed to be 10 years. But the thing that's killing Halo is drought of content. They don't have any content. The game came out half baked, maybe 10% of what it should have been. So imagine if Call of Duty, if Halo would even came out like at 60% of what it should have been, there would have been way more content. You know, the thing about live service games is, we know with Warzone and you know, this even the season passes and all that stuff. But you know, Warzone is one of the biggest live service games. Destiny is huge when it comes to being a live service game. For those games to be successful, they gotta keep bringing in new content. I'm talking about skins. I'm talking about new map packs. I'm talking about all that stuff, which Microsoft is having a lot of issues with. So, you know, being able to have Activision on their side, who is huge when it comes to being able to, you know, keep a live service game running, making it successful, is, you know, one of the biggest reasons that Microsoft is very interested in purchasing them. But yeah, man, it's getting pretty hot out there. They are looking to go out there and defend, you know, why they believe that they should be able to buy Activision. Here by next week, we're gonna have more updates as far as this goes, because I believe they're gonna be talking to the EU sometime next week, and they're gonna offer, you know, another deal as far as, you know, what they can offer to convince them that it's not gonna handicap the competition, you know. So I don't know what else they could offer, honestly, because they've already, I don't know if you heard, Sudden, but they offered PlayStation to be able to put Call of Duty on their PlayStation Plus, which is like their Game Pass, but their version of it. They said, you know, if you believe that, you know, the 10-year deal isn't good enough for you, believe that that's not doing it yet, then you know what, you guys could also put it on your guys's you know, service. And PlayStation still didn't agree to that, because if they, let's say that they do put Call of Duty on their service.
I really doubt them getting the game though is gonna they're actually gonna put it only on their platform and all this other stuff, you know. I really doubt they're gonna do that, because they want money just as much as everybody else. They're not. I doubt they're gonna do anything.
Exactly.
There's a high. Most likely, what they do is they go and just make it even. PlayStation doesn't get stuff before Xbox.
Yeah.
There's a high chance that's all they're trying to do is be like, hey, let's just have everything even right there.
Yeah.
And PlayStation doesn't want that, because PlayStation wants to have everything first, the way they get more money that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it looks like I'm looking a little bit more into it, trying to get more information as to how much, because I know that PlayStation doesn't want it, they as far as the 10-year deal looked better than them offering them to put it on their subscription service, because PlayStation makes so much money from sales, from Call of Duty sales. Not only that, but whenever somebody buys a skin on Call of Duty on PlayStation, they also get a portion of that. So them putting it on their, let's say, on the subscription service doesn't really entice PlayStation, because they're making more money from getting, you know, a share of every single sale on PlayStation, that they're not interested in that. But basically Xbox is like, okay, you know, we're willing to give you a 10-year deal. We're willing to let you put it on your subscription service day one if you want to. And I mean, that still doesn't, that still is not, you know, convincing the regulators. So, you know, at this point, I just, like I said, I feel like the only way this deal is going to go through is if Call of Duty's left out of it. But why spend 67, I think it's what the deal's like, $67 billion, something like that. Why spend $67 billion if the biggest title out of the deal is not going to be part of the deal, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to find out here soon. They're looking to go, Microsoft's going to go defend the acquisition at the UK hearing, and we should be getting more updates as far as that goes next week, hopefully. So, a very hot topic, and very interested to see what happens there. Definitely a huge move. So, if Microsoft doesn't get it, do you think what do you think would happen if Microsoft didn't get the deal done?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't think anything would happen then.
I think
It would
that
just
I
continue
mean
going on
they're
now.
willing to spend $67 billion on buying them. I feel that if the deal didn't go
They might
through,
end up making their own game if it doesn't go through, to be honest.
well, I feel like the thing is about Xbox, it's that the Xbox console, the Xbox platform, is no longer what Microsoft is focused on. Um, the they're focused on Game Pass, and in order for Game Pass to be successful, they gotta have a lot of content being brought into the service. Because if they don't have a lot of content, if they don't have a lot of games, it's not gonna grow. They don't get as much revenue when it comes to that, because if they're having to pay, let's say, a third-party developer, we're gonna pay you. What do you think you would have made from your game? Okay, well, you want 400 million or whatever. We'll give you that, so that you could put your game on Game Pass day one, to be able to, entice people into joining our subscription service. That's way different from owning the developer and being able to put those games on Game Pass without having to pay that developer, because you own that developer.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that if this Activision deal doesn't go through, I feel that the buying doesn't stop here. I feel that they could go after another huge publisher, dude. Like, I feel that they could even go after Ubisoft. They wouldn't have to spend as much on Ubisoft as they would have to spend with.
Not even close.
Yeah, not even close. They wouldn't have to spend as much on EA, because EA is huge. EA is huge.
EA is huge.
Yeah.
But it's huge for certain audiences, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
people really into sports.
Yeah, yeah. The sports is their biggest thing, and I mean they do.
I would
Respawn,
love to see the show game on PC.
The which one? Oh, the show game.
The show
baseball one.
MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love baseball games, and there's just no good baseball games here.
Yeah, hey, that is true though. That is true. I mean, MLB hit Game Pass. They actually had the show on Game Pass. I don't know if it was available on PC though. I believe it was only on console, on Game Pass, but only on console. But they did get the show on Game Pass recently. I know that it's no longer available on there, but it would. But yeah, I mean, I feel that if the deal doesn't go through, we're definitely gonna see more big moves. I mean, they've already bought Bethesda, and nobody saw that coming. Like Starfield was supposed to come out on PlayStation also, but once they bought Bethesda, Starfield became a first party IP for Xbox, so it's only going to be on Xbox. So imagine, they bought Ubisoft. If they do buy Ubisoft, that means that they have the potential or the option to be able to put those games on only Xbox, which it takes us down another road. But yeah, dude, I feel that them not being able to seal the deal it's definitely not going to be good news. But that money that would have gone towards Activision is going to go towards buying other developers, because like I said, being able to feed that monster that Game Pass is, it's going to take a lot of titles coming out multiple times a year, being able to keep the streaming service with new content. Either way, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if it goes through. It'll be interesting if it doesn't, because Xbox isn't doing good and they want to grow. They gotta make some big moves, which they're trying to do right now. So the futures is pretty exciting here when it comes to what's gonna happen, what moves Xbox is gonna make, and we are supposed to be seeing Starfield here soon. That actually takes us to our next topic, because as everybody knows that Xbox didn't show Starfield on their last developer direct. because they said that they were gonna have a show for Starfield. They wanted to make a big showcase for it, and it looks like Bethesda came out and stated that they're gonna have to. They're still not ready to show Starfield, but not anytime soon at least. The looks like they stated that they're still sorting stuff out. So that was tweeted out. So they still don't have a date for when the show is gonna be. I know that Xbox isn't gonna be showing up to E3. None of the three platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, already came out and stated that they were not gonna be showing up at E3. But Xbox did state that they're gonna have another show in LA, which is where E3 is supposed to happen this year. Around the same time that E3 is happening. So a lot of people are speculating that maybe that's gonna be the Starfield showcase. But again, Bethesda came out and stated that they're still sorting stuff out. So how do you feel about that tweet? The sorting stuff out. Do you believe it's gonna come out? We're gonna see something about Starfield here within the next few months, or do you think we're looking more?
If they're
towards the
saying
end
they're
of the year?
sorting stuff out, I highly doubt we see anything for a while from Starfield.
Yeah, and that's rough, man. Because Starfield was supposed to come out last year, and it got delayed, and now it was supposed to come out first quarter of
It's
this
kind
year.
of the theme of all these new games, you know.
Yeah. So that's just when it comes to Starfield. That's when we're gonna be seeing more of that. I do want to see more about it. I'm very excited. I'm a big Bethesda fan. Love all theirs. Hopefully we see something here soon, because Starfield's about to compete for that game of the year, which Xbox hasn't been part of in a few years. So. But yeah, as far as other games coming out here soon, nothing's been. It's been somewhat confirmed as far as our next topic. It looks like they're. The info on this one. I hit you guys with nothing but facts here. So there has been, looks like the Embracer Group has announced that they are currently working on 5 Lord of the Ring games. They're actually in development already, and are expected to launch. All 5 of them are expected to launch within the next couple of years. So we're gonna see 5 different Lord of the Ring games. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited for that, to be honest. If that's true, I'm excited for it.
Lord of the Rings is as big as Harry Potter, or bigger.
Yeah.
So, we haven't seen the Lord of the Rings in how long?
A
When do you remember
very
playing
fucking
it?
long time. A very long time ago. Last time I remember playing anything Lord of the Rings, it was like Lord of the Rings Lego.
I know, right? Yeah, we haven't even got like an actual game. No, it's been a while. Okay, trying to see what games Embracer Group. Okay, so Embracer Group has been the studio, the development studio that's been behind Little Nightmares, Goat Simulator, Destroy All Humans, Time Splitters, Darksiders, Saints Row, Borderlands, Killing Floor, Tomb Raider. So they definitely have a few good titles on their back, and it looks like last year Embracer bought the IP rights for Lord of the Rings, which means that now they're able to make games for that IP. So they're working on it quick, because they literally just bought the rights for it last year, and they already confirmed that they were gonna be releasing 5 new Lord of the Rings games within the next 2 years. So that's very exciting. The last title that we got from Lord of the Rings was what's that game? Middle Earth, something Middle Earth. That was like last Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, so those
I'm
actually came
looking
out I
at
think in like
Shadow of War right
2014.
now.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean those were the last ones, but those weren't made by Embracer Group. So this is a different studio. They they have good games that they've made, and they don't have anything to prove as far as that goes. They came out with, I mean, even Tomb Raiders. Tomb Raiders have always been, really good games. Um, the Little Nightmares game. I never played it, but I know it was huge. A lot of people love that game. So yeah, I'm very very excited to see what comes from that. Hopefully we see them here soon because I am a pretty big fan of the Lord of the Rings universe. So, um, yeah, I'm very excited about that. Some heavy hitters and triple A's because I know that I back on my PlayStation 2 they had like some RTS style
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings. It wasn't like a heavy RTS, but you would just like it'd be from over the top game style. You'd be able to, and you would just tell
Oh,
your players or your characters where to walk and attack, who attack and stuff. And it's been a while since I played a Lord of the Rings like that. I mean, it's been multiple generations. If they brought something back like that, that'd be very exciting. But yeah, I mean that's Lord of the Rings. There's 5 games coming out here within the next 2 years. So very exciting. That changes up what we've been seeing lately. So adds more flavor to the soup here. So and we're also looking at, it looks like, Civilization 7. Have you ever played any of the Civilization games?
yes, I have Sid Meier's Civilization 6. I haven't gotten into it. It's really complicated. I want to get into it. I just haven't had a chance yet with all these other games
Yeah,
coming
dude.
out and stuff.
There has been a lot of games, man, and especially if you're a multiplayer, player, likes to play a lot of multiplayer. Those games take a lot of your time, so it's just all these games coming out. We had, the God of War coming out. We had, yeah, racer fans. We had Gran Turismo. We had the Hogwarts. I mean, there's been so many games I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, there's been a
Yeah,
lot of games coming out, and
it's been a
um,
hell of a lot of games.
yeah, I mean, you gotta pick and choose nowadays. What you're gonna play. But I'll tell you something. I'm a huge Civilization fan. Um, I played the heck out of Civilization 6. I have like 40, 50, maybe 60 hours into that game. I've spent hours just finishing one playthrough, and I'm very excited for it. It looks like the next Civilization is in development at Firaxis Games, the studio's parent company. The Take-Two Interactive confirmed in a statement on Friday. Though no launch date window was offered, the news comes 6 years after Civilization 6, a critical and commercial success across 5 platforms. It looks like they came out and stated, I'm thrilled. This is from the operating officer at Firaxis. He came out and said that he's thrilled to have this opportunity to carry the studio's storied legacy, beginning with the announcement of that Firaxis is in development of the next iteration of the legendary Civilization franchise. So he continued, I'm lucky to be working with some of the best developers in our industry, and we have plans to take Civilization franchise to new heights for our millions of players around the world. In addition, we will continue to support Marvel's Midnight Suns. So they did work on Midnight Suns, and they're going to continue to support that title for those fans of the Marvel universe and those that bought Midnight Suns. It's they're still going to be offering new content and continue updating that title. So I'm super excited for that. That's actually one of the other one of my biggest titles, and I'm excited for this. That are going to be coming. We probably won't see it because it's in development now, so we probably won't see it for like 3 years, maybe 4. But it's exciting to know that they're working on a new one because it's a great game, very very good game. Those that haven't tried it, Civilization 6 is amazing. Check it out. So yeah, that's another great news for that has been verified. And uh, lastly, we have another of our topics here. I believe we have a couple more, but we're gonna talk about Hogwarts Legacy. I know that you've been playing that, Sudden. I know the world is huge. I've been seeing a lot of gameplay and it looks amazing. I just haven't got my hands on it because I've been caught up with so many other things. But how big is the world, Sudden? Is it huge?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. I didn't get too far into it, sadly, because Call of Duty decided to come out with ranked at like 2 days after I got it.
Yeah.
So I didn't get too far into it, but I did get into it a little bit, and it was really fun. The little bit that I was able to play.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Shout outs to Rambo. Rambo's in the comments. Said yo. Love y'all, my boys.
What's up, Rambo?
Love always. Yep. Love back to you, bro. Thanks for checking out the show. If y'all are enjoying the show, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We appreciate the support. But yeah, get back to it. The reason I was asking you how big is the world is because that's all you're gonna get from them for, as of now.
Yeah.
There's no DLC.
Oh yeah.
There's no plans for DLCs. They did come out.
Actually, there is plans. Apparently, I never fact checked this yet, but apparently they're planning on coming out with a multiplayer.
Yeah, so this is from IGN. So I know that they are planning to work on, I did hear from multiplayer. As far as DLC, I believe they're talking about like adding more to the world. Because I believe if they add multiplayer, they're just gonna add the option to be able to play with a friend. They might add, PvP and all that stuff, but as far as DLC, and this is coming from IGN, Hogwarts Legacy developer Avalanche Software has revealed to IGN that the studio has no current plans to release additional content for their Wizard World RP. So it looks like they came out and they stated, we've been really heads down bringing the Hogwarts Legacy to life, so that at the moment there is no plans for DLC, so nobody should be expecting anything as of now, anytime soon at least. So I've heard the world is huge, so
that's not surprising, but there's so much to do. Like, in order to do everything in the game, you literally have to play the game at least 4 different times to get everything. So you're not gonna run out of
Rainbow
things
is
to
huge.
do. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's insane. I didn't think it was gonna be that big.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's huge, man. I mean, it's definitely gonna be one of the biggest titles this year. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to talk about that because I know it's huge right now. Everybody is playing it, and I know not many people are even close to completing it. There's a lot to do in that game from what I've heard. It's a huge open world, and there's all types of exploring to do. So I'm sure everybody's going to be very content, very entertained with what they've offered until now. But they did state that it doesn't mean that in the future they're not going to work on anything, but they stated that as of now, it's not something that they're putting work into. And lastly, you guys know I like to talk about free games. Have you guys, anybody that's listening and Sudden, you guys ever, I don't believe it's available on consoles, so this is more of a PC free game. It's coming from Epic, as everybody knows. Epic does do a free game every week. And this week they're doing I bought it, dude. I bought it when it was in beta. It was War Pips. Have you heard of that?
I haven't heard anything about that.
It's an indie game. It's a pretty cool game. It's one of those games where you get a choice of different you get a free choice of different groups of I don't know how to put it together. Like, you'll have different units that you can spawn. So you'll have like 5 different units that you can spawn. You pick, let's say you click on the first one, it'll spawn that unit. You could spawn before you do any upgrades and stuff. You'll be able to spawn the unit. It'll start loading up. Once it loads, you're able to spawn another unit. Some units, let's say you have like 6 units available at the beginning. Obviously, you don't have any units out there, but you do have the option to have up to 6. And you know, some of the units count as 1, some other units will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. And you'll just you'll click on the unit, it'll spawn them out. They'll start making their way towards the enemy camp or whatever it is. And yeah, basically the strategy of the game is to be able to get into the opposing enemies camp and destroy it. So yeah, it's one of those strategy games where you just got to think with your head, and the same way that you spawn units, the enemy spawns units. So you got to be able to defend and attack at the same time. It's pretty interesting. So if you guys haven't checked that out, it is available on Epic. I believe it's available till the 23rd. So yeah, definitely check that out. I know that PlayStation was getting some games. It was fun. Looks like we had gone over it last podcast. Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is for the rest of the month. But I mean, they haven't changed. There was the Mafia Definitive Edition. That's on PS4 only. So if you have that, if you're still playing on PlayStation 4, that's love for the PlayStation 4 fan base there. Evil Dead, the game, that's gonna be on PS5, PS4. For those that just got their PS5s, Rambo. I know that my homie Rambo just got his PS5. That's a free game you could get from the PlayStation Plus free games for this month. So you could check that out. Ollie Ollie World. That's another PS5 game that you could check out for free. And Destiny 2 Beyond Light. That DLC will be available. So that's another title that you could get on PS5. And then as far as Xbox Game Pass, we had talked about it last week, which was the Gundam Battle Alliance. They did get Hot Wheels Unleashed on Xbox Game Pass. They got Madden NFL 23, so the full game is available on Game Pass. If you're a sports gamer, you could check that out. The Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, that's available on Game Pass. And lastly, it looks like this one was actually just came out within the last couple of days. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition. This is more of a like single player game. Looks like it's first person, more cartoonish. Looks alright. I won't find this. But for those that are fans of it, this is the third generation of it, Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition. So if you're interested in that, that's also available on Game Pass. So as far as free games, new additions to the Game Pass library here. That's what we're looking at. Again, check out War Pips. It's indie. Don't sleep on it. If you have PC, I don't know if it's available on console, but definitely check that out. It's really fun. But other than that, I think we are about ready to wrap it up here, Sudden. What are you gonna be doing? What are you gonna be gaming? What are you gonna be streaming? What you gonna be doing this next week?
Next week, I'm gonna be streaming probably some Ark. I don't think I'm gonna stream Call of Duty because my stream doesn't, because of my Wi-Fi, my stream doesn't look too good on COD, and it doesn't look amazing on Ark either. But it's getting there until I'm able to get my Wi-Fi to work a lot better. But other than that, I'm probably going to make some videos on Call of Duty on TikTok pretty soon and on YouTube. And that's about it.
Definitely. Well, you know what I do? Call of Duty when we're playing, because you know we gotta have the squad to be able to do.
Yeah.
I'll probably be streaming some rank tonight. I'll be streaming it here on the Next Level Gaming channel. I'll also be streaming it on Twitch. The Great Gads Gaming is my name on Twitch, so check it out. I'll be streaming some Call of Duty, grinding that ranked, because that's to get heated. So y'all could look forward to that from me. I'll be finishing God of War. So I'm probably gonna finish that this next upcoming week, hopefully, if I have a little bit more time to game. But yeah, very excited to do that. I'm also gonna hopefully here soon. I'm not saying next week, but at the same time, who knows? I've been grinding quite a bit. I'm hoping to get a Steam Deck. So if I do get a Steam Deck, I'll probably be doing a review on that, and I'll probably be doing some videos on that too. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, everybody that caught the podcast live, those who are gonna watch it later, appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. If you guys enjoy the podcast, hit that like. If you don't, hit that dislike. It's cool. That way we know what you guys want us to go on the comments. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. I mean, always happy to have a conversation with y'all. So again, if you guys haven't subscribed, if you guys like the content, hit that subscribe button. And other than that, we are live every week on Fridays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You guys could always catch us. There's news every week, so hopefully we can get an update as far as what's going on with Xbox and acquisition of Activision next week, because that's a hot topic. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, again, you guys all for watching. Catching you guys next week.